All right, so I'm going to be doing a discussion here on the AtGames. Let me try it again. The AtGames Legends Ultimate. This is the arcade game you can buy Sam's Club, Walmart. About $500 it runs you. Got a ton of built-in games, about 350. But it also has the ability to hook up USB, Raspberry Pi, and other ways to put your own games on and play them from a USB drive, extra hard drive, supports light guns, and even has screensavers that you can do with commercials. So let's turn this sucker down. But that way you can have these commercials and such running after 1 minute, and it does like a shuffle. So if you have a folder, you gotta name the folder the right way on the USB drive. There you go, then you can have these commercials. So cool stuff, definitely great. And in the video today, I'm gonna show you how I switch out these buttons, which you can see I got colors. These are all regularly black buttons here, red buttons all up here. I got a nice player 1 and 2 buttons there. I got color buttons here. I changed the joystick toppers out from ball to bat style. So much better, in my opinion, of an experience. I love this machine. You got trackball in the middle here. I have not changed that, except to put the supports in that you can 3D print yourself, that guy made. You got the spinners, one on each side. And of course, who can forget Saturday Supercade? Yeah, baby. I love Saturday Supercade. But yeah, the Legends Ultimate is a great experience. Great machine. You should get one. But here, the point of this video is to go over how to switch out some of the stuff inside. Not too difficult. Anybody, I think, can do it, as long as you take your time and take pictures, or just pay attention to what you're doing. Don't get distracted, and don't try to go fast. But let's get right on that. Hey, how's everybody doing today? I'm just making a quick video here, going over switching out the buttons. Now, I know a lot of other people have made the same videos, but I'm going to be doing it a little bit differently than the ones I've seen, because I actually like the Neo Geo style buttons, where they have the red, yellow, green, and blue corresponding to A, B, C, and D. So I'm going to be switching out on my control panel here. I'm going to be switching out the A, B, C, and D is actually in Neo Geo games X button, so that'll be X. And then I'll have the A, B, C, D, and X over here. And I'm also switching out the control knobs here. And I'm switching actually those out with, where did I put those? These kind of guys. So these are a little bit smaller on the top part here. These are a little smaller, but they have the long stick, like the flay stick. So it gives it more of a look like this. If that's good, yeah. So that'll be nice, I hope. Oh, God. I've also got the quarantine beard going on Michigan here. We are still in stay at safe home, blah, 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 BS. I get it, but I'm just tired. So I've been actually doing I'm not going to shave until the quarantine is over. Hashtag never shaving again, I guess. But I'm going to be switching those out. I also got player 1 and 2 buttons, and we already got, it's pretty easy. Start 1, start 2. But I have little icons where it has 1 person, 2 people. And then I'm actually going to be switching out at least one of these with a white button. So you'll have, all different colors. You'll have 6 different color buttons, 6 different color buttons here, a red knob here, a blue knob here. And what's cool about this kit I bought is, while it was about the same price to buy all these pieces individually, the kit I got actually came with cards and stuff to make to be used with a Raspberry Pi. So and actually came with controller mounts. If I'm building my own machine, what I actually hope to do at some point is, and maybe I'll use these, I don't know, but is to turn the machine behind me into a Raspberry Pi machine. This is a Tekken Tag Tournament machine. I've had this for a little while. I think I got it back in 2004 2013. I say 2013 or so. And this thing, I mean, it was an NBA Jam machine. I can tell because there's an embossed piece down here where it's painted over, all black, of course, and you can tell it's a starburst and that. And if I flip this up, this is kind of trashed anyway, but if I pull under here, you can see the laminate, possibly. See, the laminate is a basketball, but that's why I have some of the screws out. My plan at some point is to go and take the rest of the screws out of here and clean this up, because I added buttons here, and they're just in like a 6 pattern here, and then this is completely different. I want to redo this control panel. But it works for right now. It's got things in here, all this fun stuff. I just noticed this just came off, so I'll have to reconnect that up. Wonder where that got caught. Ah, that's why it got caught. Okay. But, yeah, I'm going to start up working on these. After I get this... Ooh, no, just kidding. After I get this control panel off, I'll be back with you and showing you how I'm going to get the buttons off. And if... I don't think I'm going to switch out the micro switches, which are what make the click, 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 click sound. I'm not going to switch those out, but rather I think I'm going to use the existing ones and just move them from the old buttons to new buttons. Okay? I'll be back in a jiffy. One thing I forgot to note real quickly, like I said, I'm doing this as a very quick video, because I started a new job about a month ago, so I have very little time lately to edit things, but the newer control panels actually are like plastic on the bottom. Some of them still have the wood, but these actually, to get this off, you're talking about unmounting 2 screws here, and then you got one here on the side, right there, and then one here on this side, right here. So it's just 4 screws you have to take out, and then disconnect the wires. And take your time doing that. Don't be in a hurry and mess up your wires. All the wires connected right about here in the back. Just take your time, unhook each one. Make sure you're not forcing anything in. Make sure you're not doing anything that's going to be permanent damage. Make sure of that. All right? I'll be back after I get the control panel off. For sure this time. Okay, remember those wires I was talking about? I was wrong. They're not over on the 1-player side. They're more over on the 2-player side. And you can see them all in here. There's actually a LAN connection, which is the network connection. There's an HDMI. There's I think this is the power. There's a simple little 4. I don't know what he's for, but he's 4. And then this guy, he's like, let's call it 12. And then there's an audio cable connection here. Pretty sure this is audio, because it looks like coax almost. Coaxial connection. So you get all those unhooked, and then this puppy is free. Okay? So, pause, and then we're going to move this thing. Alright, so this is the bottom of the control panel. I'm actually getting the last screw out here. I didn't do all of these or show you all these because as exciting as it would be, and you know, bringing all that money that I don't make off of YouTube, I took them all out. So there's 1 screw for every one of these holes on the bottom, and I'm going to show you how many there are that we're talking about. We're talking about 2, and then you got another 3 here, so you got 5. You got 3 here and 2 over here, so you got a total of 10 along the bottom, and this is plastic. All right, so now that I got them all out, now I have free access to open this up. Now there is a couple cords in here that you got to be careful of, though, and I'm trying to remember where those are at exactly. Actually, I'm opening it from the bottom this time, so it's a little safer, it looks like. So if you open it from the other end, you got network cable that connects from the back to the board and some other ones. So, and I'll show you those here. See, anything that connects, like this guy, you can see how taut that is. That's got a lot of, not super tense, but you can't do a lot with that. Now, any of these ones that are in here, I got to look up which, order the Neo Geo guys go in, but the bottom ones are going to be the ABC, and they're going to go backwards. So this will be A, B, C, here, and here, and here. Let me get on that better. So this will be my A, B, C. So now if I want to get this out, there's a couple different ways, but basically I got to get each of these micro switches out. The way those are connected in is there's a couple little holes inside of these micro switches themselves. So to get that out, there's a piece of plastic here, and you should be able to just bend these out. Let's see. Yeah, you can bend it out. Probably gonna snap it off. No, there we go. Got it out. So here's what a micro switch looks like in case you've never seen one before. Basically, just a little button that goes up and down. And what it does is when it's down, it connects these two wires. It acts as a connection point, kind of like a light switch. And that says you pressed it. Isn't that amazing? All right. So then it comes back up, and then it knows you unpressed it. So if you hold it down, of course, it's holding that connection the whole time. So now that I got that disconnected there, I'm going to get this guy out. These are really hard to get access to. And even with the tool, which I do own one of these tools, made in Spain. Okay, made in Spain. It's a kind of a tight fit in here. So what I would suggest actually is I would suggest getting off multiples of these, but then you got to keep track of what goes to what. If you mess up the wires, you're going to hook up the wires back to the wrong ones, or the micro switches onto the wrong ones. So you got to keep track of these. You may wish to write a number on them. Anything that can say, hey, this is the same one. Another thing is it looks like both sets, or player 1 and player 2, both have the same wire pairs to each one. So you can go off of that as well, because this is orange black, this is green black, yeah. And the black is the neutral, I believe. So I'm going to do that. I'm actually going to pop these all off of each of these, and then that'll allow me to get in here. Now, like I said, I'm not maybe as good as some of these other people out there that do this a lot more than me. But what I try to do is I try to show people what this is like for the normal person. I work in IT, but I'm a business analyst. I used to be a developer, not a hardware guy. So do I mess with hardware? Heck yeah. Mess with electrical, mess with anything. I mean, what's the worst thing that happened? You die? I mean, this stuff's not live right now, so I'm not really worried about getting electrocuted from it. But I'm going to mess with getting these off. One of the things that might be good is getting a flathead screwdriver to pop the sides off to get access. That might be a way to go. So I'm going to try that. Once I get all these off, I'll come back and show you how to use this to get the button actually out. Okay? Pause. Okay. As I was taking these off, I found out the most easiest way. There's a vertical on each of these. Let's see if I can get closer here. And actually, you know what? I'll just show you on one of the ones that's not in the machine right now. This might be easier to see. So what you do here is all you have to do is bend this one out. So all you do is get between the micro switch and this one sticking up, and you bend out a little bit because the micro switch will be here between them, and boop. So watch this. So watch this guy right here. I'm gonna take him out, okay? All I do is put the screwdriver in the back there, bend him in, lean this, pivot it forward, and boom, done. So now I got all of them out. That's what it looks like, all cleaned up. All the micro switches right here. That's all the buttons. How I'm gonna keep them straight, just don't unhook the other player. So now we're gonna go and work on getting them out. I'm gonna use this tool. So there's two ways this can go on. There's one way, which is not the right way, I don't think, for this one. And then there's this way. And you just twist it. That loosens the nut here, which then I can spin up and pull the button out through the back. and that was A. So I gotta look up what A needs to be. Pretty sure that's going to be, pretty sure it's yellow or red, but gonna look it up. You know why? Because I don't want to do this twice. I'll be back. And actually what I'll do is I will switch the rest of these out and I'll have them in. But maybe I'll show you how to put one in first. All right, part 2. All right, we are gonna figure out what order the Neo Geo buttons go in. What is your guesses? Did I hear someone say red, yellow, green, blue? Well, guess what? You're right. It is red, yellow, green, blue. Now, unfortunately, we don't have 4 buttons in a row with the slight curve. So instead, we're going to have to go red, yellow, green, blue. Which, you know, maybe I can redo that. But for now, I'm just going to stick with what the machine defaults to, which is when you're adding on games, it puts the D button as the X button. So this will actually be up here. And then I'm going to put, I guess, a white button and then just leaving the black as Z. So that's the order I'm going with. What say you, Pikachu? All right. So after I get these all in, which is just simple. I mean, let me show you here, I guess. You're going to basically put the button, God, juggler. You got an empty hole. Oh, sorry. Get this through. Take the nut. You get it on there. Don't cross thread it. Just get it on. Hold the button in place. And while you're holding the button in place on the other side, you use this guy to just snug it up. And what you're going to want to do, just like they had, and I didn't even think of this until now, is try to keep it on the same angle that these ones are on now. So get that angle set and try to hold it on that angle. There we go. Button's in. So now, once I do the rest of these, I can go and hook up the switches. And listen, they're same, exact same. Ain't it magic? You know, in case anybody wants to see how easy this is or not, or isn't, you get down on this. There's a little bit of a wire here in the way. I'm trying not to fray or damage in any way. Got it off most of the way here. I'm just holding it on the bottom side. Drop it through. Raise it up. And I'm just doing this on couch here in my basement. It doesn't really matter where you do it. You just want to do it somewhere you're not going to scratch up the control panel anywhere. You know, so that's what I'm trying not to do, at least. Like I said, trying to keep all these on the same angle and keep them tight enough, but don't try to overstrip them, you know. But that's why this tool is good. You can't really overstrip it with this thing, the way it works. And then I'm torn a little between going white and black versus going black then white, but I think I am going to go white then black and make the black button the last button. And I'm just pulling down that way. You can do it like that too. It really doesn't matter. Gotta say that original button. So these I'm also, you know, if you notice, I'm using the nut that was on them originally because there's no reason to change them out. There really isn't. Now, changing out the joystick toppers to these. So I'm gonna open this up here. This is gonna be player 1, and this looks almost 3D printed, but it feels nice and smooth. But a little texture. It can be a little more comfortable than just the ball. You can see it has a threaded inside on it. So all you do to do this is a little bit different setup. So I'm gonna swing you around there. Sorry if you got motion sickness. Take a Dramamine. Oh my God, what happened to my camera? Oh, this is amateur hour, man. What I'm gonna do here is I just need to get a flat blade, not a fat blade, a flat blade, and hold this while I switch out or while I spin the topper, because otherwise it just spins in here. So get this guy in here, and then and now the top is just freely coming, and now comes off, as you can see. Now what I'm going to do is put these two discs back on. And then once they're on, start threading the end on. I don't know if that's how it's supposed to go. I guess it could be. Alright, so now, wow. Yeah, that's a little bit different. So what I'm going to do here to try this all out, actually, you can see the buttons actually really well from there. Upside down, of course. You know what I noticed we were just doing? We were just working with player 2 instead of player 1. But here's the good part. I want player 1 to be blue anyway. I just decided that. It was kismet. We took care of player 2 instead of player 1, but it's the same thing. A, B, C, D, Y, Z. And they sound exactly the same. And that's because they don't have the switches on. Now, it did come with new switches, but I'm not going to be putting those on. And here's why. These switches work fine. I'm going to use these. If any of these die, I then have backups. Yes, I could switch them out, but no reason to bust these off, and stuff, and risk any damage or mix-ups or anything. So I will be back after, well, here, let's just do this. Let's just put one of these switches back on so you can see. So I'm looking over here to reference from player 1 that green and black is the first one. And I have green and black right here. And I'm going to go and put that in. And the way you put this on is going to be the opposite of how we took it off. So I'm going to pivot it into the little guy in the front, bring it to the back, bend him out a little bit, drop him down, it locks into place, boom. Great. Awesome. I'm going to do the rest now. Okay. So, got them all on, hooked up. They all make clickies. All right. Beautiful, right? So, now we got it how we want it. Life is good. We switched all the buttons out with the colors we wanted, except the last one, the Z. We left that as a default black one. We have also gone through and put a new joystick end on, and that was also good. So now we got a very nice look to our setup. What we want to do next is go and repeat the same process with the first player. You can do it in either order. Just don't try to do them both at once. I wouldn't. You're gonna mix stuff up. Safety first. That's why we're in the quarantine. So, trying to make, it's been, what, about 2.5 months almost of this quarantine, here in Michigan at least, and all I can say is, let it end. Please, please, let it end. Never been so miserable to just stay home ever in my life. I think it's like being grounded is what this is, It's just like being grounded. So, I'm going to go through, repeat all this on the guy over here that looks like the old. So there's old and new if you want to see it. I think it's a nice change myself. I like the colors. It'll help with my son because I can just say, press the yellow button, press the white button, press the black button. A little easier than telling him the letter or letters, especially when we have the lights down. Makes it hard to read those. So, all right, be back in a jiffy. Now, I've gotten this all done. We got color over here, color over here. We got cool new joysticks, yeah. Now, gotta do the player 1 and player 2 buttons, which are up here. This is player 1 button, player 2 start, menu, and this would be your rewind button. At some point, maybe I'll change this color out to another color, but for now, just leaving this, and changing out the 1 and 2 player buttons with 1 and 2. Easy peasy. Let's get that done. Oh, you'll end up with a pile, and I do mean a pile of black buttons. And don't ask me what to do with them, because I have no idea. Alright, so since I last paused, it's probably been like 20 or 30 minutes. Reason being is I put orange buttons in for the last black ones, but I also had to reorient buttons on the one player side. On the first player side, the buttons have to be in certain orientation, otherwise what ends up happening is the certain pieces of the plastic come down and protrude through, like this hole here. And that can't line up because of just where things end up being. So you have to make sure the wires are facing a certain orientation out from the switch. So hopefully, putting in all screws, hopefully I'll be able to flip this up and show you a fully done control panel. Alright, let's move this back a little bit, and there we go. So, there it is. We got 1, 2, red, yellow, green, blue, white, orange, 1 player start, 2 player start, menu button, and rewind. So I might switch out one of these at some point, but not a big deal. The bulk of the work is done. This is what I wanted to accomplish. Getting these would have been $10. Most of them were $10. Maybe they're better than these ones, but these will work just fine for me. But $10 for these and the button sets for not even as many buttons as I got. Now I have a lot of extras, don't get me wrong, but now I have extra buttons that I can do other things with if I'd like. I'm thinking maybe of doing what some people have done, is put pinball buttons on the sides. You know, just put a button in the side here, and then you end up splitting off an existing wire so that this button does the same as hitting that button. So this would be the same as maybe hitting like A. And then C would be the same as, you know, the left side if I do it over here. So might do that, put pinball buttons in at some point, but not right now. Right now, I like my pile of buttons. My very big pile of buttons. And I'm gonna put this back on. I'm gonna go play some games. So I think I'll hook it on here. Let me mount it back up. Give me a couple of minutes, and then I'll show you what's on what this puppy can do. Okay, got it all booted up with the new buttons and everything. You can see the screen, and of course these are the default games that the AtGames Legends comes with. From the top here, though, if you go over to bring your own game, this is my hard drive add-on, press A, I get a list over here on the right side, left side, rather, of the screen. And you can see here, we got arcade, Atari 2600, 5200, NES, and such. And then if I go on to them, and I press A, so if I go that one, there's the Atari 2600 games I have on here. These are on the USB drive. So that means, you know, they boot a different way. We got Pitfall 1, Pitfall 2, Super Breakout, Superman. I can also go down on side Atari 5200. There's Pitfall 2 for that. NES, some NES games. Basic, nice, easy NES games. Neo Geo CD, Metal Slug 1 and 2, the CD versions. because I guess they have some different content as far as trainer level, a training level, like a tutorial level kind of thing. And you can pick any world once you've beaten it, supposedly. Odyssey 2, again, doesn't have an icon. I gotta go back. Then we go SNES. Actually, I have a few Super NES games. We got Lemmings, Pocky and Rocky 1 and 2, Pop and Twinbee, the Rainbow Bell Adventures, Super Bomberman 1, 2, and 3. There's actually 5 of those. I can see if I can get the other ones at some point on here. SNK. So this will give you all the Neo Geo games. As you can see, look at those. Look at that button configuration: red, yellow, green, blue. Red, yellow, green, blue. So, and there's the player 2. All nice to set up, you know. But a lot of games in here. Bust a Move again. I don't know why Bust a Move has Bust a Move again stuff. If I use the, they've added in the newest firmware, 1.18, I think, that if you twist this, even just a little bit, you'll get the next screen of games. You know, of course, the controller you can use to go one game at a time, left and right or up and down. So, and they loop through. If you press menu, get back to the side. We got Sega CD games over here. See what's in there. I put Sonic CD on, but it's not showing up, so I might have done something wrong there. For Sega Genesis, Gunstar Heroes, Mutant League Football, Mutant League Hockey, Quackshot, Sonic Spinball, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, the Hyperstone Heist down there. TurboGrafx 16, got some Devil's Crush, some Parasol Stars, which is Bubble Bobble 3. You know, there's been 4 of those games actually, and then some adult. Whoa, we're not gonna do that. Censored. All right. So, yeah, with the TurboGrafx 16, that's pretty much the main end of the list. Go to arcade. Got some Afterburner, 1, 2, Arkanoid games. Got some Batman Arcade, Battletoads Berserk, Bomberman Panic Bomber over there. We got some Bonanza Brothers, Bubble Bobble 1 and 2, which Bubble Bobble 2 actually there's one of them that's Bubble Symphony and just one just called Bubble Bobble 2, and that's because one of them allows saving, save states, and one does not. Not sure why the one doesn't allow save states, but you know, I'd rather have the one save states even if the sound's a bit choppy. Choplifter, some other games, some Cloak and Dagger, Cosmic Avenger, Demon Front, Dig Dug 1, 2, Donkey Kong 1, 2, 3, Jumpman Returns. It must be. I don't know if that's a homebrew or what, but I don't know. Not Donkey Kong Jr. 2, which I don't seem to have.
I'm Hubert, and I've got all the right moves. I've got.
I don't know why that went on. That's pretty odd. I was moving through the screens. Yeah, I don't know. Donkey Kong Jr. I thought was Donkey Kong 2, so Donkey Kong 3, of course, is the one where he's in the greenhouse. But yeah, they got some Double Dragons in here. Got some Dragon Ball Z's, some Food Fight, Galagas. G.I. Joe, which is interesting, 4-player arcade game. I didn't know that even existed. Hook, 4-player arcade game. Joust 1 and 2. A lot of Pac-Mans. Mr. Doos, different games, Gauntlets. You know, but it's a nice. I like this thing. I think this is a great arcade game machine to have. If for nothing else, then the variety of different things that you have in here to play, that you can load ROMs on, if you legally own them, or if game cartridges, if you legally own them, I guess you can, get the ROM, back it up, and play it on here. So, yeah, I mean, definitely look at that. No delays, no lag. But you hit one player. And see, you can pick your turtle, because this is not the 4-player game version at the arcade. So I can play Donatello.
Iron! Hang on, April.
There you go. Heroes in a half shell. Turtle power. There you go. So, wow, 1 credit, huh? Let me put this back there, be a little better. There we go. So now, what you may be wondering is, how's a vertical game look? Because vertical games like, you know, something like Arkanoid even. Arkanoid is a vertical shooter, or vertical game. Galaga. Pac-Man should be on here. Let's see. Let's go for Pac-Man. There we go. Pac-Man. Not Pac-Land, but Pac-Man. Is that pretty oriented well there? Yeah. Yep. You're seeing the whole screen that I'm seeing. There's some Pac-Man. Oh no. Oh boy. That didn't look good. Oh baby, that was close. Oh, that's gonna come back to haunt me. Oh, I didn't even need to do that. I didn't even need to die like that. You don't want to die like dogs? If there's any way to avoid it. Come on, baby. Come here. Gotta give you a kiss. Let's just finish it. Alright, so that shows you how that works. Pretty simple. And as you can see, some of these, you can use a trackball in some of these games. None of the ROMs seem to use it. Crystal Castles and such that are built into. But nothing else, I don't think. I don't know if you can use it. Be nice to find that out. I will try to find that out. If how to get a ROM. Oh boy, this is upside down. What? Oh, guess it's okay now. My Scarlet.
Mission 1.
Okay, Cobra's doing things. Mass destruction, chaos. Cobra Commander declares war. G.I. Joe's ordered to advance. Yo, Joe. Oh, there we go. Oh, Jesus. So she just runs. Jeez. So by shooting, you're controlling where she's gonna go, which makes sense, you know. Oh, baby. I just got smite. Whew. I'll tell you, it burns your wrist, man. Gee, oh man. Oh. Yeah. Yo, Joe. Oh! Oh, I can shoot those to grab them. Ah! Yo, Joe! It's a pretty good game. I like this. So you can do a save slot. Oh no, that one crashes too. Have to post up about that. I think I give you enough of an idea. So there you go. Great machine. The Legends Ultimate Arcade. Ooh, wow. Legends Ultimate Arcade. I actually